So the original Coming to America from 1988 has always been a go-to movie of mine. It had a pretty good story, great cast, multiple times, a fresh feel and originality to it.
Is something troubling you, my son?
Last but not least, it had a great ending, literally just screaming for "and they lived happily ever after." And then 30 years went by in bliss and calm that it would be more and more too late to make a sequel, which I honestly was more than happy with. And here we are, cursed with a masterpiece of laziness and disrespect. Luckily, it doesn't seem like a lot of people know about this thing, so I am content with that. But as a fan, I had to watch it, and the sooner I could rant about this, the sooner I can move on with my life. By the way, spoilers. 1, 2, 3, go. The story sets off 30 years after the original film. Prince Akeem and Lisa live in their palace in Zamunda, where they have 3 daughters and a McDowell's. But the old king is dying, and he's afraid that Akeem will be assassinated by the neighboring state Nextoria. Jesus Christ. Led by General Izzy, played by Wesley Snipes. The reason for this is that Akeem has no son to marry Izzy's daughter, and Akeem's daughter won't marry Izzy's son. Oh no, war is brewing. Luckily, Akeem finds out that he was drugged and raped in the first movie and had a son. So after Pops dies, which is just a music video to be honest, Akeem goes to fetch the son so he can marry Izzy's daughter. He finds his son, whose name is Lavelle Johnson by the way, and even though Akeem looks like a crazy person who tells him that he's his father and king of Zamunda, Lavelle takes him home, even though he doesn't believe him, as one would do in New York City. Mom, played by Leslie Jones, kinda confirms that he's his dad, and after Semi accidentally opens a briefcase full of cash and gold, they believe that Akeem is king. And that's it. That was Coming to America. From now on, it's Coming to Africa. Anyway, they go to Zamunda and kind of surprise Akeem's family with having a bastard son and him taking over the throne, which was promised to his daughter, Mika, although it is a well-established law that only a man can rule Zamunda. So, well, from now on it's a cringe, wacky, poor relatives move in with a rich, reserved family kind of thing. Some casual humor happens for a while with some nostalgia. Gee, it's the royal bathers from the first movie. Oh, he's shy and goes to his mom for... Dude, you're over 30. Oh, look at that, she's already having a bath. I wonder what hilarious surprise twist will happen next. Anyway, Izzy comes by with his daughter to make a marriage happen, and again we are forced through another music video, which ends with a really fucking weird chokehold. Where did that come from? It's not even like a sexual thing, but more like she's a predator studying Lavelle's skull structure or something so she can bring it home later. Lavelle agrees to the marriage, but first he must prove himself worthy of the crown by doing 3 tests, which he sucks at the beginning. But then his barely present and forced love interest, Mirembe, makes him do it in Brooklyn style, which somehow helps. He does the last challenge, which is cutting the whiskers from a lion and getting circumcised. Psych! It was a not at all expected prank. He then finally falls for Mirembe, a little kissy, but no, she's a senator. Wait, no, she's his groomer. On the head, okay? So everything goes to plan and there's an engagement party, but Lavelle and Mirembe find out they want to flee to America together instead of this royal bullshit. So they take the royal jet without anyone knowing, I guess, and they want to get married in Brooklyn. While Akeem follows to stop the wedding, Izzy gets mad when Lavelle isn't there and he starts fighting our main characters who are left in Zamunda. While his ass gets kicked, Akeem arrives at the wedding and realizes he has become his strict father and that true love is worth everything, like in the first movie and stuff. So all is fine, but no, Mirembe wants to be married in Zamunda, which is fine. So they invite all of Brooklyn and they have another music video. Sorry, wedding, where all loose ends get tied together in a pretty little bow. Ah, my head. Did I mention the entire conflict of the movie is just resolved at the wedding? Yeah, so General Izzy's sister is a girl Akeem left at the altar in the original movie, ever since he ordered her to bark and jump on one leg as kind of a dare to see if she actually did it. She hasn't stopped for 30 years and all they had to do to prevent war was to just ask her to stop? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you follow that order in the first place if your brother was the leader of a country that constantly kept threatening Zamunda? Just stop it. Anyway, that was the main conflict resolved. So the movie is basically a story with poor people rattling the cage of their new rich surroundings that has fallen into their hands for some weird reason, and now we laugh and laugh about it.
I am so hungry, I can eat the ass out of a zipper.
And then we're supposed to find true values from these people, although they act like clowns. It's just so poorly done. Already a minute in, I got that tingle up the spine that something was disturbingly similar to like a Disney Channel Christmas movie or something. The boring standard camera shots mixed with that fake atmosphere of digital green screen all the time really made my brain seem uneasy. And because we don't have much of a story, we just get blasted with things from the original film because they want us to connect this piece of shit with the vibe from back then. But they ultimately shoot themselves in the foot with a fucking minigun because it just makes this movie look so much worse and empty of anything fresh. We keep getting spoon-fed old-time photos, McDowell's, bar and apartment scene, barking woman, King Joffrey, Duke and Duke, hairdresser parlor. They were old then. How are they not dead now? Sexual chocolate. Flashback sum up of the entire first movie. And so on and so on.
But wait! There's more!
I swear to God, half the movie is music videos. There's like Vogue Salt and Pepper for 50 seconds straight, of course. Everyone goes batshit crazy at a funeral. Gladys King for over a minute while the king dies. Engagement song for another full scene. Wedding song in the cringiest let's just film a concert while the actors dance style. Ugh. Now, I'm not really a fan of pushing political agendas into movies about fiction and escapism, but in this case I might have welcomed the originality, but they even fucked that up. Like we have a scene with the classical white privilege moron racist who's getting quite the burn from Lavelle early on in the movie because he is handed his wealth by his daddy. But to me that just makes him look like an ass later when his dad shows up offering him money and power, which he immediately accepts. Hell, even when he quits his responsibilities, he still gets to be ambassador for Zamunda because his daddy is king. I guess he got chased by a lion, so that's fine. And oh my god, this movie was sloppy made. Terrible CGI, including bad animations, laughable green screen because why go outside and film, and then there's a horrendous de-aging. Also minor things like people out of focus and Lester Jones looking straight into the camera. I mean, come on, just do another take.
Nah.
And last but also least, Tracy Morgan. And in this movie he's a loud, smug, sad man who thinks he has a right to do everything because he's apparently right about everything, he thinks. Even though he's a poor drinking man who forgets Lavelle's birthday and pressures him into selling illegal tickets.
Benson, y'all got some crab cakes, man? I need some protein.
Who is it, Benson?
Benson is you.
Ugh. In conclusion, it's a very cheap, empty echo of a great film from the 80s. The first one had charm and had that kind of unforgiving nature that Eddie Murphy was a symbol of back then. But like today's Eddie Murphy, this film seems like a forgettable, tired has-been and doesn't quite have the punch of the younger model. It also unfortunately goes a step further and feels like a cheap sequel that didn't have much planning or anything to say, because that is what happened. It's like putting a fine dress on a rotten corpse. Sure, at a distance it seems nice, but already as you approach it, it starts to smell, and then you take it to a hotel room and find out what's really underneath. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't see it, especially not if you hold the first one close to your heart. It'll only break it, along with your eyes. So yeah, that's it. I'll leave you alone now. See you later. Shit, like and subscribe. Wow, it sure is a great day here in Africa, in Zamunda. That's right, other man. It sure also is hot out here, too. Yes, there's also the temperature to consider. Woo! Temperature is not to be reckoned with out here. What's that?